Okay, so hello to everyone. I would like to welcome you to the first webinar within the Atomics market phase. My name is Slobodan Kizunovic, and I will be presenting the webinar for you today on the topic of public funding for startups. If you can just please confirm that you can see my screen and that you can hear me. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. I just wanted to let you know that today's webinar will be recorded, so keep that in mind. Excellent. Thank you everyone for your replies. Okay, so today I will be presenting you two types of calls that might be relevant to you for your post-diatomic activities. One of them is the SME instrument, or the first one is the SME instrument. So the SME instrument, who is it for? It's directed for single entities. It does not require a consortium, and it is mostly intended for high risk, high potential SMEs to develop and bring to the market new products, services, and business models. The main objective of the SME instrument is, or the main focus is on accelerating the companies, not the products themselves. The budget for the SME instrument is over €1 billion and 600 million during the period between 2018 and 2020. And it takes place in 3 different phases, and there are no preset topics, meaning that it is open for all sorts of proposals. Just a quick look back at the SME instrument. From 2014 to 2018, there has been a total of 3,553 participants. Over €1.5 billion euros have been allocated to 3,551 projects at a funding rate of 8.4%. So we could say that it's very competitive. So who can apply for the SME instrument? It is mostly intended for for-profit SMEs, including young companies and startups from any sector. And you must be established in an EU member state or a Horizon 2020 associated country. The standard definition of SME applies. So less than 250 employees, less than 50 million turnover, and less than 43 million on your balance sheet total. So basically the SME instrument is structured in 3 phases with the aim of transforming disruptive ideas into concrete innovative solutions with a European and global impact. SMEs are recommended to apply for phase 1, but they may also apply directly for subsequent phases. So phase 1 deals with the concept and feasibility assessment with the goal of bringing the idea to concept within 6 months. In this first phase, the SME will draft an initial business proposal, and the European Union will provide 50,000 euros in funding along with business coaching. Phase 2 covers demonstration, market replication, research and development in order to bring the concept to market maturity within a period of 1 to 2 years. So within this phase, the SME will further develop its proposal through innovation activities and draft a more developed business plan. Within this phase, the EU may contribute between €500,000 to €2.5 million and provide business coaching. So phase 3 covers the commercialization and your preparation for market launch. The SME will receive extensive support to help polish its concept into a marketable product and have access to networking opportunities. The EU does not provide funding in this phase, but supports you in business activities to bring your product to the market. So here we go briefly over what a typical SME instrument company looks like in phase one. The average grant that is received is 50,000 euros. Around 98.9% of the companies or the projects are presented by only one partner. 91.4% are micro companies or SMEs with up to 49 employees, and they are all relatively young. 45.2% are startups, and 52.7% have a small portfolio of products or services. In phase two, the companies receive an average grant of 1.35 million. 83.3% of projects are presented by only one partner. 66.7% are micro companies or SMEs with up to 10 employees. Once again, relatively young or startup companies, 38.9%, and 77.8% have a small portfolio of products and services. Now, within the SME instrument, the top finance topics in 2017, basically 17% of the funding was allocated to companies dedicated to the health sector, with over 75 million. The most funded sectors were health, ICT, energy, agri-food and fisheries, raw materials, and transportation and construction. But once again, the SME instrument is not only limited to these sectors or these topics, and you can apply basically with any topic that you have in mind. This top finance topic in 2017, once again, we can see a pie chart here. 24% went to health. You can see engineering and technology, ICT, biotechnology, but also other topics applied as well: food and beverages, security, construction, and transport networks, and so on. Despite the elimination of the topics, the health sector projects continue to be the most benefited, with 28% of the total budget. So now we're going to take a look at the SME instrument phases and evaluation of the applications. So phase one, feasibility study, basically helps you get a grip on the research and development, technical feasibility, and commercial potential of a groundbreaking innovative idea, and it helps you develop it into a credible business plan in order to be able to scale it up. Here you are awarded a lump sum of 50,000 euros over a 6-month period. Phase two helps you develop your business concept further into a market-ready product, service, or process that is aligned with your company's growth strategy. Here you can receive from 500,000 to 2.5 million euros in funding over a period of 12 to 24 months. Phase three, excuse me, the commercialization phase. It helps you take advantage of additional EU support that is extended to you via a range of business support services offered on the EIC community platform. And it is open to SMEs benefiting from the different EIC calls for proposals. And in this phase, there is no direct funding, but instead you receive business support and coaching, basically to help you bring your solution and product to the market. So the evaluation process takes place in phases as well. Here on the left, we can see the applicant submits their proposal, and it is received by experts who perform remote evaluation. If the application is below threshold, it will get rejected straight away. If it is above threshold, it will go into a ranking of proposals. So if you pass or if you get selected in this phase, then you will be invited to work on a grant application agreement. So the evaluation process or the evaluation criteria, the main the main idea is the evaluation criteria are split into three parts. 25% is the excellence part. So it means that you need to demonstrate high potential and innovation beyond state of the art. In this part, so you're graded on degree of innovation, new applied knowledge, the level of technical challenge, and technical achievability and risk, and the TRL. The quality and efficiency of implementation, or I'm sorry, first, market and commercialization. You will be assessed on market size, market access and risk, competitive advantage, clear and realistic commercialization plans, and the time that it will take for you to get to the market. So quality and efficiency of implementation, you will be graded on how the project will be managed, your team resources, your innovation management scheme, work packages, and milestones. And it's important to note that you're also basically graded on the capabilities of your team, and it's important to demonstrate that you can bring your solution to the market. So there's a holistic approach to evaluating the entire company, because the goal is to accelerate the company and not just the product or technology. Once again, the evaluation process in phase 2, it's very similar to phase 1. The applicants submit their proposal. There's a remote evaluation by experts. The proposals are ranked. If they're above threshold, you will conduct interviews. And you will be, if you pass a certain level, you will be invited to grant agreement preparations. So the evaluation process, phase 2, if you pass, you will be invited to an interview. The interview, it's basically a panel of reviewers that consist of business angels, venture capital representatives, corporates, entrepreneurs, influencers, innovation support individuals, and STMs, and people with relevant market expertise, basically. So for the SME instrument, the next cutoff dates, the next deadlines will be in November, basically, November of 2019. And you can see all the dates here. So that'll be about it for the SME instrument. The other public funding option is Fast Track to Innovation. Now, Fast Track to Innovation is the main difference between the SME instrument and Fast Track to Innovation is that it is open for consortia to apply. So it has a bottom-up approach, meaning that each consortium partner has an individual solution or technology that is brought into the partnership. And it is important within the consortium to note clear intellectual property rights, which partner is bringing what into the project. And it is important to demonstrate clear value for each partner. The main focus is to foster market uptake. It is industry driven. Industry is best placed to ensure the due commercial exploitation of the innovation that is developed. It is necessary it is necessary to be close to market. The time to initial market take up should be no more than 3 years from the start of your FTI action. So funding to demonstrate and validate your innovation will be received. Company growth and development in order to strengthen Europe's industrial leadership. And so basically it is open to all types of participants, partners with complementary backgrounds, knowledge and skills. A look back at Fast Track to Innovation in numbers. So there have been a total of 1,994 proposals over a period from 2015 to up to now. 200 million have been allocated. It has a funding rate of less than 5%. So it's very competitive. It's almost like DIATOMIC. We also had a similar funding rate. So meaning that if you have made it this far with us, you also have a great chance of succeeding with Fast Track to Innovation. So, and a total of 300 million should be reached by 2020. So, Fast Track to Innovation, it covers activities from demo to market. It is for projects that are ambitious and add substantial value to Europe. For example, considerably contribute to Europe's industrial leadership or the solution of Horizon 2020 societal challenges. It covers advanced and specific research and development activities with TR levels from 6 to 8. The activities involve testing, piloting, and demonstration and validation in real working conditions, business model validation, and pre-normative research and standard setting. So the consortia that can apply must be industry intensive, private for-profit companies. Basically, they could be 2 to 3 or 4 partners, or 5 partners actually, or 60% of the budget of the proposal. So basically, the size of the consortia should be minimum 3 partners and maximum 5, and it can be applied to by SMEs from different EU member states or countries associated to Horizon 2020. It is important to state here that when you apply to Fast Track to Innovation, the requirement is that all the companies in the consortium are from different countries. They can include private companies, first-time industry applicants, and SMEs are particularly welcome. They can also include universities, research and technology organizations, and further innovation actors. And they can also include cluster organizations, end users, industrial associations, incubators, investors, or the public sector. So your typical FTI project is 4 to 5 participants. All participants need to be from different countries. The duration of the projects are 12 to 24 months. And there is an 1 to 2 million euros EU contribution, maximum up to 3 million euros if duly justified. So 70% of the funding is for private for-profit entities and 100% is given to nonprofits. FTI phases and evaluation. So basically from the project idea to submission, the proposal preparation includes registration in the participant portal of the EU Commission. You complete a proposal and submission forms and upload annexes and submit. Important aspects in the preparation phase are to check eligibility criteria and to read the EIC work program. So basically the phases are application, evaluation, signature of the consortia agreement, and afterwards signature of the grant agreement. So once again, the electronic submission, the application is done through an electronic submission through the participant portal. There are no negotiations in the grant preparation phase. Only high quality actions will be selected for funding. There's a necessary financial viability check only for the coordinators of the project. And pre-financing is provided on a case-by-case basis, maximum 90%. And the limit of pages is 30 pages for the application. And the next cutoff date will be the 22nd of October, 2019. The FTI evaluation criteria are similar to the SME instruments in that they are in 3 units. Excellence, innovation, impact, market and commercialization, and quality and efficiency of its implementation. The impact phase is has 50% weight. Basically, it is the most important one. So the evaluation process is performed by 4 independent experts with commercial and financial expertise. The evaluation is done remotely with no consensus meetings. The most important criterion is the value of impact. All the budgets are allocated to the SMEs. The number of industry and first-time industry applicants is important, and gender balance of consortium staff is also a criterion that is taken into consideration. So general tips and advice for the end. Some do's and don'ts for you. Do's, prepare your application as if you were talking to an investor. Much of the focus is on the company rather than the project itself, meaning that the goal of all these funding options are to develop the company. It is important to embrace technology in order to boost your business. And you should be looking at a European and international scale for doing business. And pictures really are worth 1,000 words, so be sure to include anything that will demonstrate your project and your solutions the best. And do your best to review as much as possible. Some don'ts. Make sure that you include competitor analysis in your business plans. Business plans with weak competitor analysis usually don't do so well. You need to cover business opportunities, include information on your customers and their willingness to pay. So you need to have a good end user analysis and plan of future customers. It's important to segment your market properly. If your objectives or your plan is ambiguous or not realistic, or the time to market is too long, this can be a problem and put off for the reviewers of your application. And you need to demonstrate credibility and viability of your business model. And most importantly, it's important for your financial projections to be set up correctly. You should have a high innovation and disruptive solution. So low innovation and non-disruptive in the proposed environment, meaning that you have low TRLs. The description of the risks and market barriers and their mitigation plan is ambiguous or non-existent. This can be also a problem. Your proposal needs to clearly demonstrate its ability to access customers. And another problem is if your application does not sufficiently address the European global challenges. And most importantly, your company needs to have the necessary capacities to carry out all the planned work. So as far as exploring opportunities, if you are looking for similar opportunities as the DIATOMIC project, then you should check out F6S. And basically, you should keep an eye on 3 upcoming calls. You can find more information about them at these links. The Block IS project is basically for blockchain startups and SMEs, and it has the goal of bringing blockchain technology solutions to the finance, logistics, and agri-food sectors. NGI Explorers focuses on emerging technologies and paid expeditions to the US. It's a 3 to 6 month expedition to the US, 100% sponsorship plan. And it is also a mentorship program. And we have the European Data Incubator, which deals with big data basically. So you can check out more at these links that are provided on the screen. And that will be about it for today's webinar. I hope you have learned something useful and that it has given you new ideas and directions to look regarding public funding for startups. Thank you very much for your attention and for your participation.